Have you ever heard of an ADHD Gospel? I'm Christy Birchville, and we are starting a new series today. We are going to be working our way through the book of Mark. I'm excited to be able to do one of the Gospels. We're going to talk about Jesus, his life, and all the fun things and things that we learn through this incredible book. Today we're going to start with just the first 8 verses. Mark 1 through 8. And this gospel, it's a glimpse obviously into the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And in its pages, we see the story of Jesus. We understand a little more who he is and how his life impacts our life. Now, Mark is a little more unique of the Gospels, and most scholars agree that it was one of the first Gospels that was actually written down. It's also the shortest Gospel in terms of number of chapters. And I actually had one person describe the book of Mark as the gospel for ADHD people. And I laughed and I said, "What do you mean?" And the person was like, "Well, look at it. It just bounces from story to story to story to story. Really quick hits of the items and the things that Jesus did." And so often through the book, we see the phrase immediately, immediately, and immediately this, and immediately that. And it just constant movement. Constant progression through this book. So we're going to see this book and we're going to see some of the incredible stories, the information that we learn about Jesus Christ through this as we read through this book. We're going to kind of move in shorter sections, but make sure that we get through all the key points as we work through Mark. Today, like I said, really just going to get the first 8 verses. Now, Mark chapter 1, verse 2 says, "As it was written in Isaiah the prophet, I will send my messenger ahead of you, who will prepare your way." We think about reading this book as we look for the essence of the gospel message throughout everything that's recorded. These first 8 verses, we see how God planned. God planned ahead. Yes, this gospel message may go quick through different things, but this wasn't an impulsive decision. The things that Jesus did were never impulsive. They were planned, they were calculated, they were purposeful. And Jesus did these so that he could move his way through the people and ensure that they experienced God. When we're looking at this, we see the depth of planning that God went to. We understand how important his plan is, and we see that his plan is going to come about. Mark references a prophecy that was back in Isaiah hundreds of years before this happened, and says, look, God said back then that he was going to do this. And we know from reading even back to Genesis that from the foundation of the world, God planned Jesus coming to earth. It was part of it. Now, even though these are kind of quick summaries of the different events and things that go on, we should never take that as a reason to diminish the meaning and the purpose of these, all these different items and truths that we're going to read about as we go through the book of Mark. God is so incredibly focused on this, and understand this entire story was planned. See just how diligent God is to bring about his plan. For everything in our life, there is a plan. He is working to bring his glory through us. Are we seeking to fall in line and be part of God's plan for our life today? Make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss any of this series as we work through this incredible book all about Mark. I'll see you tomorrow.